Okay, a person asked me once, why do you feel so much better after a dry fast? I thought maybe we should go for a walk. As it turns out, dry fasting does something every other fasting can't do. It turns on heavy-duty autophagy for 168 hours or so in a 7-day dry fast. Not the 5 to 8 hours at night at varying degrees of intensity, but a strong, high-intensity autophagy. And that gets rid of tons and tons of toxins and proteins and stuff in your body and cells, and you just clean up the cells. They start behaving better, they start acting better, and you start feeling better. You see, about 4 hours into sleep, macroautophagy starts, where big organelles are surrounded by stuff and gotten out of the cells, and then microautophagy happens, which surrounds bacteria and shuttles them to lysosomes. And it's like around 8 to 10 hours after you fall asleep, you go into chaperone-mediated autophagy. Chaperone-mediated autophagy use little protein tugboats to pull these great big broken enzymes and folded proteins over to the ubiquitin proteasome system, which is a series of wood chippers for molecules, and it just chips them up into antigenic peptides and amino acids. That's what they do. At the same time, they take all that stuff that's been vibrating at frequencies that constrain your body and cell from operating properly out of the body. It just dissolves them. It's like taking that banjo, trying to interrupt the Beethoven symphony, and ripping it up on stage and throwing it in the trash. No more problem. You feel better. You've gotten rid of your parasites, which I talk about, so you're not craving things. Your mind is clearer because you've gotten rid of these same toxins that end up in nerve cells and the fat storage system in your brain, which allows their release constantly and damage constantly, and you get rid of those. So the reason dry fasting works so well to feel so good after a dry fast is because you've been in autophagy long enough to make it work. And that's the way it works, kids. Dry fasting, people are hesitant to do it. I get that. Hesitant to take advice from anybody like over the internet like this. And it's completely understandable. So it's up to the people that do dry fast to help the people that can't figure out if they want to or not to do it. And that's kind of the reasons for these things. My whole mission is to show people this new way to take care of themselves that has a really interesting, outrageous proposal. You see, if you don't do a dry fast, I say just, follow these guys on the internet and eat the right stuff, eat ketogenic, watch your diet, watch your stuff, calm down and so forth, and not drink as much, smoke as much, all that fun. And, follow them. You'll live longer, but really what you'll live is healthier, because we don't really live longer. We die a lot longer. And so following all that advice will help you live in a healthy body, longer in a healthy body. Dry fasting, on the other hand, activates stem cells, gets rid of parasites, which makes dieting compliance easy, all that great stuff. And if you dry fast, you can go right back to your bad habits. I don't suggest doing that. As a doctor, I think it's terrible advice to, say anybody should go off and drink and smoke and be crazy all the time. But you know what? I do every now and then. Everybody does, and it's only normal. So if you think dry fasting leads to a life of nothing, dry fasting leads to a life of just about anything you want to keep doing. So in that respect, maybe you ought to try dry fasting. All it is doing nothing. It's the most non-invasive, easy therapy. Takes a little refeeding to deal with if you do longer ones, and it's so easy to do. But the reason you feel so good after a dry fast is you've gotten rid of so much stuff after a dry fast. That stuff that makes everything work harder, congests the cells, complicates their biology, and you just got rid of it. That's why you feel better on a dry fast.